All right, y'all, so today we're going to be changing it up. I know I usually don't do this, but this is a little bit of a reaction and commentary video over someone who I really respect within the sports gaming community. Not only does he frequent the atmospheres and the communities of the NBA 2K, but also WWE 2K communities, and he has a very important insider voice. I'm talking about Brian Mazique. He writes for Forbes. If you ever caught him, he's been around for years. He's a veteran and well-respected name, and he has some news. He has some insider information talking about WWE 2K22 that I think you guys would like to hear, and I'm gonna also comment on it. Now, enough of me talking so much. Let's get into it.
One of these I already wrote into another question, so that was the one about my NBA. So we're only going to deal with the WWE 2K part of his question. He says, do you believe that WWE 2K22 will have a 2K showcase mode of some kind? I love WWE 2K14's 30 Years of WrestleMania mode and would love to see something like that again. I would agree with you, sir. I would love to see that. And I don't know if I can tell you that it won't be obviously 30 Years of WrestleMania, but a mode like that I think has a chance, and I'm going to tell you why.
So let me go ahead and refresh some of you guys. If you don't know what the 30 Years of WrestleMania mode for WWE 2K14, you might have missed it. You might have not been playing the game back then, but basically it's just like the showcase mode, but it catered more to all 30 years of WrestleMania, showing all of the greatest moments, and basically it was a historical highlight reel, I guess you could say, a playable highlight reel of WrestleMania. So from 1 all the way to 30, with Hulk Hogan, Triple H, Stone Cold, The Rock, Ultimate Warrior, people like that and such were all featured throughout this mode, and you were able to play their special moments in WrestleMania history, and it was pretty cool. Also had some nice unlockables as well. But yeah, something like that where you have more variety and you get different versatile unlockables, and also people that run across different eras will be cool. I don't like showcase modes where you have to play as one person the whole time. I feel like that's kind of like redundant, kind of like what you're doing in My Player already, playing as one guy with your singular moveset, but that's neither here nor there. Let's continue the video.
It's a man by the name of Patrick Gilmore. So he's Mr. Epilogue on Twitter. Patrick Gilmore is one of the most passionate creative directors I've come across in sports gaming. I mean, this dude is intense, for real, and excited about, and all in a good way. All of this stuff is a compliment, right, about this game.
With Mr. Epilogue, you could tell he's one of us. For real. You could tell he's one of us because he acts like how I would act if I was a game developer. Like, bro, very focused, very excited, very optimistic. Now, maybe he's overly optimistic. We'll have to see. Now, keep that in mind. He might be hyping us up because he is trying to sell the game at the end of the day. But I do think he had plenty of time to make this happen. I also want people to empathize just a little bit with the WWE 2K devs. I feel like they really do love wrestling. They really do love wrestling games. They grew up the same way we did, where we grew up on the golden era of video games. A lot of us, the 2000s through 2010s era, even maybe 2012, there were some really great games, especially wrestling games that we were able to experience, and they grew up on those, so they know what greatness feels like, and they're just trying to bring that back for some of us. So let's not give them too much of a hard time unless we get a horrible iteration of WWE 2K again, but I highly doubt that.
The slogan that they're using is "it hits different," and so let me explain that slogan and why they chose that, right? And why that, 2K knows how bad 2K20 in WWE 2K20 was. They know it sucked out loud, right? Buggy, all that. They know why, but they also know that most people don't even care about the reasons or the excuses. It was bad and they know it. They took a year off, and their objective for this new game is that we got to make up for a year lost and for a really bad game. They literally crowdsourced the features. I said this in another stream.
Yeah, there's a lot at stake with this release of WWE 2K22. I was just talking to my boys just yesterday about this, about how we really hope this game's gonna be good. I don't want to be melodramatic, but we all understand what's at stake. All right, we just had a bad game We haven't had a game in about over a year, and now we don't even know the full direction of what's going on with this game. All we know is that it hits different. And that's not reassuring to all the people who were burnt for $60 buying WWE 2K20. So yeah, the WWE 2K devs have a lot of work they got to put in to really win back their fan base, because if this game is anything less than really good, then you're gonna lose a lot of your fan base, and it's gonna be really bad. But also, while saying that, the reason why I believe it was over a month ago, I stated in my predictions things that I guaranteed were going to be in the game. I guaranteed that GMO was going to be in there. The reason why is because they did have a poll, I believe over a year ago, more than a year ago, asking what are the most requested features, and GMO was up there in, I believe, the top 3, if not number 1. So that's why I kind of guaranteed that that's gonna happen, because they put a lot of their resources towards that. And he's gonna talk about it later. But also, there was one thing that hit me. There's probably not gonna be a 5v5 or a 10-man match type at all in the game, because it's most likely going to be on the current gen of games. And I'm talking about Xbox One and the PS4 area games. I don't believe they're going to make the jump to next gen just yet.
The second thing is, I definitely think they're going to go for a gameplay style that is as close to the old in Nintendo 64 games as they can get. That code is tough to get a handle on. I'm hearing that AEW Ukes has something of it, or some level of it.
Y'all comment down below, how do y'all feel about that? He just said that they're probably going for an old school wrestling game, more arcadey type of game. I know that's what the majority, I believe, of the community wants, but I'm in the minority of the thought process that I believe I like the sim fighting style. I like the stamina system. I like the reversal system. I like all of that stuff from 2K19. I felt like the way they paced it, they added a little bit of strategy. I don't know if there was a meta. I didn't really play that super competitively, but I did like how the game felt when I played against the AI and against my friends. So I don't know how I feel about the arcadey aspects. I wouldn't mind more high octane, more playground-esque manipulation of the environment, but I don't think I agree with full-blown cartoony arcade. That's just me though. Maybe clearly y'all want that, but I like 2K19 and I want them to build off of that gameplay style.
I also think this is my third thing, and this, some people might not like this, and I don't know if this for a fact, so I can't confirm this yet, but I believe that it's going to be only current gen. I believe it's only going to be current gen, and I think the explanation for that, and nobody's giving me this explanation, but this is just me reading between the lines. I think the explanation for that is that we still owe PlayStation 4 and Xbox One X people a nice send-off from last generation. We still owe them that. It's not right to move on to next gen without properly closing that door. Now that's what I think will be conveyed. The other side of that is that 2K20 was so bad that we want all of our resources devoted into this game, and we don't want it to be messed with by we working on new hardware for the first time. We don't want any of that to be a factor. We want to make the best wrestling game we can, make it on, because here's the thing, the majority of the people in the world still only have PS4s and Xbox One X's anyway. Most people don't have PS5s. Most people don't have Xbox Series X. There's a lot more people who have it now, but still, if you look at the numbers that these developers and publishers have in terms of the shows.
My man is preaching right now. He said exactly what I believe. A lot of people are still playing on the Xbox One, the PlayStation 4, and not only that, you know, they're more familiar with that hardware. They're going to be able to push it to its fullest capabilities, and then next year worry about the graphics and things like that, and expanding the player limit and all the things like that. They're at that moment. Now, what I will say is that it does kind of hurt. It does kind of hurt. But it also does make sense if you kind of go back and look at that gameplay teaser trailer that they had with Cesaro and Rey Mysterio. Those graphics were nice, don't get me wrong. But if you compare that to something like NBA 2K21 Next Gen, then you quickly realize yeah, this isn't a next gen release. This is not the next gen version of the game. You just can tell by the graphics in that trailer. And anyways, I want to pay $60 or less for my game this year. I don't want it to be like NBA 2K Next Gen where they're charging $70. But alright, if you guys want to see the rest of the video, I will link it down below in the description. If you want to see some more, go ahead and head over there and subscribe to my man Brian Mazique. If you aren't already subscribed to my channel, you should do that. My name is President Q. I do news, tutorials, reviews. I mainly revolve around NBA 2K now and WWE 2K, of course, and I do tech news, of course. But other than that, let me know what you guys think down below about this news. Is there something that's been confirmed for you that you already believed prior to this video, or is there something new that you learned? Otherwise, I will talk to your ugly sexy face later. This has been your President Q, and I'm out. Peace.